Has caught your eye. Tell us about that.
Well, I'm a documentary maker and a documentary buff. That's my trade, is what I deal with. But this one really caught my eye. This organisation called the War and Peace Revival are putting on these staged enactments of World War II. Now, they have to wear sort of Nazi uniforms and Nazi paraphernalia in doing this. And this has caught the attention of a documentary maker, David Ferrier, who's called it dark tourism. And this has made some really interesting headlines where the guys are just seen hanging around, milling around, wearing these uniforms, and it's thought to be in bad taste. So it's caused a lot of consternation.
And do you think it's in bad taste?
I think it's in bad taste. I mean, it keeps popping up on my to-watch list on Netflix, and I keep shoving it away. I think something like World War II, what happened, is the wounds and the feelings that invokes are very, very powerful. I'm not saying anything is off limits for documentary filmmakers, but it was done in an incredibly, I don't know, odd way. I wasn't at all intrigued to learn about it. I thought it was sensationalist.
Well, we've actually got a clip of it. Let's take a look now.
This is my first brush with the politics of war reenactment. Dan emphasises the difference between the Nazi political party versus the German people and their army. So it seems I shouldn't use the word Nazis, but instead say Germans. It's a pretty big swastika-bearing elephant in the room.
Ariane, what do you make of that?
Well, you don't have to be a Nazi to be obsessed with World War II. My dad was obsessed with it, and I grew up with a Nazi Jeep in the garage. It was called the Kubelwagen. It was a kit car. My dad was building it, and it was about the same colour as this sofa. He also had 200 books on World War II, and he loved documentaries as well. He would have watched Shirt Buttons of the Third Reich if it had been on the History Channel. But he wasn't a Nazi, any more than people who are into murder mysteries are going to be the next Harold Shipman.
But what about the idea that it's in bad taste?
I think that historical reenactment of things teaches us about the past, and it's a reminder that never again.
I'm not entirely sure that that's what David has done in this documentary. I think he's slightly... In fact, the organisers of the War and Peace Revival have said that the documentary isn't true to how they want to be perceived and how they want to, exactly as you said, Ariane, present this really horrific part of human history.
But the people who are actually in the documentary, the guys who are wearing those Nazi suits, are just doing it to reenact history.
Yes, and that's fine, but put it in context and make sure that you bring with it the onus and the gravitas of what the subject is. And I think this documentary, Dark Tourism, makes light of something that shouldn't be.
OK.